If there's one thing in this world that I'm really addicted to, it's gotta be volleyball. Minasan konnichiwa. This is Marlex, and today I would like to share with you how I've come to love volleyball so much. I started playing volleyball in college back in 2013. It was my form of stress reliever. Back then, whenever academic requirements pile up and I begin stressing about them, I would often drop everything and head to the covered courts. Whenever I play, I feel like I'm in my element. Whenever I enter and walk the court, I feel like, this cool guy, this really handsome guy. But frankly speaking, I wasn't the most ideal player. Most volleyball players are tall, like really tall. I was more like this Japanese lady here standing next to a towering Brazilian player. But you know what? That's actually one of the coolest things about volleyball. It's not always about height. And whenever you have this sort of disadvantage, you pay more attention to what's happening. So today, allow me to try to connect you with this sport. Let me share with you this pure excitement that fills me, that embraces me whenever I enter the court. Let's take a closer look at the regular sequence of the game and see that there's actually more happening inside the court. The game starts with service. A failed service is a free point to your opponent. But on the other hand, an easy service won't do any better. It won't give you a point. So it's a balance between strong offense and just making sure it reaches the other side. But amidst this pressure, the moment of service is where you regain composure. The crowd may also wanna cheer you or unluckily may begin booing you. But a great player recognizes that at this brief moment, it's mostly just between you and the ball, and this takes practice. After the service comes the first touch, receive. Each team is only allowed 3 touches. And going beyond this is considered a mortal sin in volleyball world. And this crucial first touch decides whether a play continues or not. Volleyball is all about good form. I always have to be light on my feet and ready to extend my body, my legs and my arms to wherever the ball might go. And every time I play, I feel like it's always a life and death scenario. I always feel the need to hustle. Set. The second touch is with the setter. He is what I would call an orchestrator of offense. He decides who among the players will launch an attack. So if you want to attack, you better befriend your setter. Setting requires careful calibration of where to put the ball. It's all about good aim. It's all about targeting. It requires precision and accuracy. And this takes a lot of practice. After setting the ball comes the last sequence of that play, the spike. Spikers are those fancy, jumpy guys, and may often be the really tall ones. Their moment depends on whether the setter chooses them to deliver an attack, and when they are chosen, they get ready to fly. And then they throw themselves into the air, extending the arms. And at the peak, they become an archer. And this form is key to delivering an explosive hit. But this is not an easy task. At the peak, you will meet a blockade. Similar to how these Chinese players are putting up a great wall. But meeting a block is perhaps one of the greatest forms of respect you can ever get from your opponents. It can only mean one thing, that you are a threat. But hey, sometimes the odds are just against you. Meeting a three-man block in the net with players almost as hungry for a point as you could mean that more likely than not, the ball won't make it through. And this is where it gets all exciting. When the ball doesn't get through, it will probably land back to your court. Suddenly, even your teammates are caught off guard. They become unready. They are stunned. They become aware that the ball is falling, but they are unable to react. And there are really those moments that you just suddenly freeze because it seems impossible for you to reach the ball. But volleyball is not a game of excuses. You gotta find a way to get the ball back in the air and continue the game. That's how the game works. And it is under these tense moments that you'll be surprised with what else you can do. Your body begins to react with instinct, with reflexes. And that's how you grow as a player. Your ability to adjust continues to develop. And doing such a trick is one of the coolest things you can ever see and can ever do. It makes you more confident. It makes you more intimidating. And that only smells danger to your opponents. They better be prepared for you. So I hope the next time you watch volleyball on TV or maybe in person, you will feel this raw excitement and this hustle. Because for some people like me, volleyball isn't just a game, it's our passion. Arigato gozaimasu.